Hey guys, I'm back again in my kitchen, and tonight I want to be making a creamy mushroom risotto. It's a basic recipe that you can kind of switch it up. I'm going to be starting out with some vegetable stock. I wanted to switch it up. Most recipes call for either a beef, chicken, broth, and wine. This has no wine at all, so it's a little bit healthier. So we'll start out with the vegetable broth, some garlic, butter, Parmesan cheese. I know if you've watched most of my videos, you've noticed I don't use any of the pre-shredded stuff, or at least I try to stay away from it because of the caking agent that they add. It's really dry. I don't recommend it. Seriously, pre-shred it yourself. It doesn't take that much longer. So we've got the Parmesan cheese, the pepper, fresh Italian parsley, arboral rice, and salt, and then I'm using two different types of mushrooms. It's these cremini and white mushrooms. If you can get an array or many more different mushrooms, that's actually better. It'll have a better taste to it, like a smoky, woody kind of flavor. So for extra flavor, I didn't mention in the recipe earlier, but I'm gonna add half an onion. You could use shallots if you have that on hand. And I'm gonna go ahead and heat up the chicken broth. You'll need to heat up about 4 cups, 4 to 4.5 cups. You'll want to heat it up to medium heat, medium-high heat. Don't bring it up to a boil. You just want your liquids to be hot. So when you pour it in the risotto rice mixture, the starch just start coming out. Got half an onion. I'm gonna dice it into small pieces. We will go ahead and throw it in a hot pan with olive oil for 3 minutes, just for them to turn out translucent. And then we'll throw in you could either mince your garlic or use a garlic press. I'm actually going to use a garlic press to make it a little easier. And now that the onions have been cooking for 3 minutes, I am putting in my garlic. And you want to cook it just until it's fragrant, about 60 seconds. I'm gonna mix all of these together. Okay, so we're gonna make space for the rice. And I'm using an arborio, can't really pronounce it, but this is pretty much it. We're gonna cook about 1.5 cups of rice. And it's crucial that you use this type of rice because it's really starchy. If you use any other kind of rice, it's not gonna come out. If it's not a risotto rice, it won't be creamy. So that's about 1.5 cups. And we're gonna fry that up a little bit with the onion and the garlic. Just wanna let it brown a little bit. And it's once again on medium heat for 3 minutes with the rice. And then we'll slowly add in the broth that's been heating over here for a while. So we are gonna let that cook up for 3 minutes. Shredding my cheese here, and it could be any size, it doesn't really matter. And I'm I've actually finished dicing all my mushrooms. The mushrooms, I've cut them, there's no particular length, just try to get them almost the same size. So I've finished cutting both the cremini and the regular white mushrooms. So the risotto, I went ahead and added half of the liquid, about 2 cups. And then once the rice absorbed that, then I added another cup. So you just keep wanting to, adding, after the 2 cups, you'll add an additional cup, and then the cup after that until it cooks up. Now I'm gonna throw in my mushrooms. I've had my rice cooking on medium heat. And we're gonna throw in all of your mushrooms. Keep in mind that mushrooms are a lot of water, so you also don't want to use too much water. Just those 4 cups. Sometimes I have to add just additional water if the rice is still a little too al dente or too crunchy, still kind of hard. Go ahead and finish it off with that. I'm gonna stir it a little bit. But don't over stir your rice. just a little bit. So what I'm doing is bringing the rice from the bottom up to the top. The mushrooms, once I put the lid on it, will shrink. And I'll add my remaining broth that's been on medium heat. Remember, never to boil the broth, just keep it at a kind of low to medium heat just for it to warm up. The reason I do that is so that the rice slowly releases its starch. So that looks like it's about all covered up. Throw in the lid and let it cook on medium heat for an additional 8 minutes. Right, so now that the 8 minutes has been up, I'm gonna check this. So it's gonna look like this. Your risotto should never be one sticky like clump. It should still have some, you should still be able to see the rice. And let me test it out. That's really the only way to know about this. You'll see that it's starting to thicken out. The starch from the rice is starting to come out. It looks like a butter. I don't know if you guys can see that around here. The mushrooms have reduced in size, and that water is being absorbed by the rice, so that's good. So I went ahead and tried this risotto out, and the flavor, it's good on salt. Everything is perfect. The mushroom juice has been absorbed by the rice, and the rice is soft, but it hasn't broken down completely. I'm gonna wait just a few more minutes for it to get even more starchy like this side, and then we're gonna add the last bits to it. So now we're going to add the butter, parsley, and cheese. And a little bit of black pepper. Add the butter to it, the parsley. And by this point, you want to turn off your heat. And I'm going to add the cheese. And then this time around, now that it's been turned off, you can definitely stir it up. Then mix the cheese with the rice. It's starting to stick now, so I'm actually going to take it off from the heat. And mix everything.